Okay, I'm pulling up the next video. Please continue to help us to share while
So
we
this
listen up.
this next video will tell you about another set of willing tools, the traditional leaders that are the warrant chiefs of old. When you hear warrant chiefs, those of us that were in South, I don't know if they had those warrant chiefs in other regions or is it only in our own region. So the warrant chiefs are the bad eggs in the society that the colonial masters come, pick them, and make them leaders, so-called leaders over the people. So when you're looking, you say, is it not your leader? No, they're not your leaders. They're not even the people that you will call leaders. They are stooges of the colonial monsters in your land. So they infiltrate the church, the community, and everywhere, pick criminals among you, elevate them, make them become professors, whatever that they want them to be, because they would give a double standard. What you cannot get, they can get because they are being aided, so that they will take that position over you and help them to suppress you while they do what they're doing. So please continue to help us share, like, and subscribe. My sister is playing this from Clubhouse.
The issue on the 26th of December, the Boxing Day of 1913, that the Nigeria that was in three compartments of the time, the Northern Protectorate, the Southern Protectorate, and the Colony of Lagos. The Colony of Lagos was by itself, was a British territory that operated under a separate set of laws comparable to what they had in England. In the other places, they with different degrees of modifications. In the north, they allowed the emirs and their system, which they now describe as indirect rule. And in the south, because of the resistance they got from all the places in the south, they imposed what you could call military rule, which was the direct. They sent district officers, and their enforcers were the ones in government house.
They're enforcers.
And the renegades, the local willing tools, they manage this traditional in the east. All these people you see, Royal Highness left and right all across the east, they were warrant chiefs. These are the worst of society that the British decided to coronate as spies and people who are going to be their own agents, like they did with the police constabulary. They set up that the people who are going to carry guns were the people the community had rejected, so that anger they had to put their loyalty on the side of the British that had come to make them. So both the law enforcement and the traditional ruler, the traditional rulers, they coronate. These were all the mechanisms. They retained what they wanted to retain in one part. They destroyed completely. They destroyed the local, the governance structures, the traditional governance structures in the East were completely decimated and replaced by bogus. So I can tell you, in many of the places, most of our people don't know who is part of all this Royal Highness relation is in the media. It doesn't exist in our midst. It was the British that imposed them on us as people who will take a portion of what those in government house get to spy on their people. That's what they do. That's why they allotted 5% of the local government, whatever the local government gets in allocation. These people you call your traditional rulers, they share 5% of it. So that 5%, if you're a retired school principal, for instance, maybe your pension will still be floating below 100,000 naira. If the local government gets allocation of 100 or 200 million, the average they get every month, you can imagine 5% of it to whoever is paramount ruler in the area. There could be two of them. At times, there could be three local governments that fall under one paramount ruler. But there could also be one local government that has more than one. But when you take 5%, of 200 million, 10% of it is 20 million. 5% of it is 10 million. That's the kind of assured remuneration that comes to those people who parade themselves as your traditional rulers. And the government, in return, relies on them to spy on you. They are never, that's why you won't see any of them. Not that we didn't go to look for them, we went to look for them all over the place.
Wow.
They are not on our side.
They are not.
We are breaking down the mechanisms so that you can know the forces, the politicians that swear to defend and uphold this constitution, those ones you can see from afar. But the ones who present themselves as your own, you now think indigenous people, you can see that in the Yoruba space, in the Igbo space, you can't find any meaningful traditional ruler who is on the side of the people for good. Look at where they are when the matters turn up in terms of between what Nigeria wants and what their people want. It's always what Nigeria wants that they stand with. Yep. I'm giving you the background to it. The British that came took their time to destroy what they could destroy, retained what they wanted to retain. The indirect rule they did in the north was that the caliphate, the emirate system, in which the Sultan now is the head, you know, they allow them to keep, because they already subjugated the people in a feudal setting. England itself, the UK itself, the British crown is a feudalist setting. But for that reason, they didn't have to disrupt something that has locked the people down. Rather, they empowered the emirs some more, gave them more guns to beat down the people, so that between them and the emirs, when the door is closed, the white man
is in charge.
Mm-hmm. When the people are not looking, once that door is closed, the emir is taking instruction. If you go back to the pyramid of evil, you will see that we indicated that in that hierarchy, the British and their government are the top, the caliphate next, that nobody speaks up, nobody argues with the one up. So the caliphate does not argue with England. They take whatever London says. Then between the two of them, London will dictate what will go into constitution, because London is concealing itself from the people who are suffering. In that hierarchy, the constitution sitting below the caliphate. That's why they're operating above your constitution.
Yep.
The constitution is in place to put you down. They are not bound by it. They are not bound by that constitution. You saw the Supreme Court, you saw the Court of Appeal, you saw Jega, not Mahmoud, the one that coronated Tinubu in the last election. They are not bound by your constitution. Otherwise, I could raise 20 questions, even in this meeting, of where was the constitution when ABC so happened? Where was the constitution that says everybody has to be treated equally, that there will be welfare and security, that there will be all kinds of good things for the citizen? The same them overruled what they wrote into the document with another small clause that they didn't advertise, and you see lawyers who jump all over the place trying to pretend that there's something that is the entitlement of the citizen. Nobody's citizens. Slaves are not citizens. Under this constitution, that your sovereignty is taken, all your economic assets taken, and the exclusive lists that make it impossible for you to even partake in any way. With something, a blanket immunity that goes from section 6D, the one that says everything they did from the 15th of January in 1966 to the 29th of May in 1999. That's 33 whole years. During which period all the decrees that became constitution in 1979 were instituted. All the things they did to rot this evil were done in those 33 years. The oil and gas assets of the Niger Delta, it was in that period that they took those things and awarded to themselves as oil blocks. It was in that period that they created all these states. It was in that period they had to kill this number of people that we're still discussing today. The ones who killed Ironsi, the ones who killed the 3.5 million people in the East, the ones that starved 2 million plus children to death. By this same thing, they are reminding us, like the synopsis told us. If anybody will remember the story in the Bible about the siege on Samaria by Syria, these people that are on a conquest mission, they are weakening us from several fronts.
All right. So I just posted the link for this audio. I'm telling you guys, if you want to understand the history of where, you have to listen to this audio. It is life-changing. If this audio doesn't make you mad enough to want to change, just check yourself into a psych unit. That means you're gone. There's nothing we can do for you. This audio is loaded with information. Like, it kind of like gives you the step-by-step reasons why we are where we are today, and who is the player in our damnation. So please, the link is posted. I will repost it again. I don't know. Let me just post it by itself so it doesn't have any words with it. Hopefully, if you click that link, it will take you to the rest of the audio. If you want to save time, maybe start from 18 minutes and then listen to the whole thing in its entirety. I'm telling you, if you are looking for a sermon, today is Saturday, tomorrow is Easter Sunday. This is the sermon for tomorrow. If you're looking for freedom, if you're looking for life, if you want to improve things around you, this should be your gospel for tomorrow. Go ahead, sister.
Yeah, that's if you want liberation. If that liberation that Christ died for and promised you and said, I became poor that you might be rich. If you're looking for that, that's the video. Do not take your brain where they will use a high soap to wash it clean. Remove the little thing that was remaining. Better don't go there. Sit down and listen to this. It will give you life. To give you bring
your children around it. Turn on the audio and listen to it. Yes. I'm telling you, my goodness. All right.